Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Copperhead Historian, and welcome to another episode of Monuments Man. Today we're going to be covering this monument standing right behind me, dedicated to the 6th Maine Battery, aka Dow's Battery. The official name of this unit is the 6th Maine Battery. However, they are also known as Dow's Battery, or Battery F. I will use all of these names throughout the video. Their commanding officer at the time of Gettysburg was Lieutenant Edwin Dow. Born on June 20th, 1835, Dow was 28 at the time of the battle. He had left his job as a clerk in Portland, Maine to become a lieutenant in the battery, and in 1864 he left the battery after being promoted to the rank of captain. Dow's battery was mustered for service on January 1st, 1862 in Augusta, Maine, and was mustered out of service on June 21st, 1865. The battery fought in 17 major engagements. I'll mention all of them when I get to the full regimental history, but some of the most notable ones include Second Bull Run, Antietam, the Mine Run Campaign, the Wilderness, Cold Harbor, the Siege of Petersburg, Spotsylvania Courthouse, and of course, Gettysburg. On the eve of battle, Battery F had been involved in 3 previous engagements: Cedar Mountain, Second Bull Run, and Antietam. Dow's battery arrived on the field on July 2nd as part of the 4th Volunteer Brigade of the Army of the Potomac's Artillery Reserve, and brought 103 men and 4 12-pounder Napoleons to the battle. Now, despite their attachment to the 4th Volunteer, they would be working with multiple batteries from various artillery brigades of the Artillery Reserve. They were positioned along Hancock Avenue and formed part of an artillery line that Lieutenant Colonel Freeman McGilvery, commanding officer of the 1st Volunteer Artillery Brigade, was putting together to control the high ground in front of Cemetery Ridge. During the second day, the battery would play a key role in repulsing Confederate attacks on the Union's left flank. The most intense combat the battery would see during the battle would be during the third day, when they would partake in the artillery duel that preceded Pickett's charge. During the exchange, they would suffer 13 men wounded. Now I'll go into greater detail about the monument. This monument is over 11 feet tall and was carved from granite provided by the town of Hallowell, Maine. It was dedicated by the state of Connecticut on October 3rd, 1889. The monument is topped with a pyramid of 5 cannonballs. The cannonballs are made from black granite provided by Addison Granite Company. On the front of the structure, you can see the name of the battery and a relief of the badge of the 12th Union Corps. What's a little confusing is that Dow's battery was not attached to the 12th Corps during the Battle of Gettysburg, so why is the star on the monument? A potential explanation for this mistake is that the battery was attached to the 12th Corps' Artillery Brigade from September 1862 to June 1863. Thus, the sculptors felt it made sense to attach the battery to a particular corps as opposed to the Artillery Reserve. Below the star are depictions of various flags, a cannon barrel, a sword, a cannon ramrod, and a drum. The right side of the monument says McGilvery's Brigade, Artillery Reserve. Now this is another odd choice, since Dow's battery was with the 4th Volunteer Brigade, commanded by Captain Robert H. Fitzhugh, and McGilvery's Brigade was the 1st Volunteer Brigade. I'm not aware of any explanation as to why they chose to do this, and it doesn't make much sense. Some potential reasons for this are that they may have just decided to put the highest-ranked brigade commander on it. It might be the fact that Dow's battery was located closer to the 1st Brigade at the time, or it could be that McGilvery used to command the 6th Maine Battery, but it still seems odd. On the left side, it says Campaigns AP, Army of the Potomac, 1862 to 1865. Like most artillery monuments along Hancock Avenue, it has cannons with it. More specifically, 2 12-pounder Napoleons on the left and right of the monument. As with most cannons on the battlefield, even though there is writing on the end of the muzzles of these 2 guns, it's almost impossible to read because of how old they are. If you wander a little bit to the left or right side of the monument, you may notice it has 2 flank markers. If you've ever been to the battlefield before, you probably have seen these along the sides of various other monuments. These are there to give you a general idea of the outline of most of the units present for the battle. During the battle, Dow's battery was spread across roughly 194 feet along the line. Now for the full regimental history of the 6th Maine Battery. Battery F was mustered into service on January 1st, 1862, and was recruited from Augusta, Maine. After being mustered, they were assigned to duty in Augusta till March, then at Portland, Maine until April 1st. They then made their way to Washington, D.C., where they would be attached to the Military District of Washington, and from April 1st to 3rd would camp at East Capitol Hill, Forts Buffalo and Ramsey, and Falls Church, Virginia. In June, Dow's battery was ordered to report to General Nathaniel Banks at Harper's Ferry, West Virginia. During June, they would be attached to the 2nd Division, 2nd Army Corps, Army of Virginia, and were posted to duty at Harper's Ferry, Cedar Creek, and Little Washington, Virginia. In August, they would be attached to the 3rd Division, 3rd Army Corps, Army of the Potomac. On August 9th, Dow's battery took part in the Battle of Cedar Mountain. From August 16th to September 2nd, they would partake in General John Pope's disastrous Northern Virginia campaign. During the campaign, Dow's battery saw action at the Second Battle of Bull Run and the Battle of Chantilly. In September, Battery F was attached to the Division Artillery of the 2nd Division, 12th Corps, Army of the Potomac. From September to October, Battery F would oppose the Army of Northern Virginia during General Lee's Maryland campaign, particularly at Crampton's Gap and South Mountain in Maryland on September 14th, and the Battle of Antietam from September 16th to 17th. After the Maryland campaign, Dow's battery would be on duty at Sandy Hook, Maryland, and Harper's Ferry until December. From December 2nd to 6th, they performed reconnaissance to Winchester, Virginia. On December 27th, they saw action near Dumfries, Virginia. In January 1863, Battery F was assigned to duty in Dumfries until May 27th, then at Falmouth until June 13th. Before the Gettysburg campaign began, Dow's battery was assigned to the 4th Volunteer Brigade, Artillery Reserve, Army of the Potomac. During the Battle of Gettysburg, the battery would help repel the onslaught of advancing Confederates on the second day and would suffer 13 men wounded. From July 7th through 14th, they would pursue the Army of Northern Virginia to Williamsport, Maryland. On July 18th, they began their march to Warrenton Junction, Virginia, arriving on August 2nd. In September, they would be assigned to the 1st Volunteer Brigade, Artillery Reserve, Army of the Potomac. On September 16th, Battery F moved to Culpeper, Virginia, and would remain there for less than a month. From October 12th through 22nd, Dow's battery participated in the Bristoe campaign. On November 7th through 8th, they advanced to the line of Rappahannock. To finish off a battle-filled year, they would take part in the Mine Run campaign from November 26th to December 2nd. After Mine Run, Battery F wouldn't see much action at the start of the new year, 1864, and it wouldn't be until April, when they were finally transferred to the Artillery Brigade of the 2nd Corps, that they would see some serious action. After reassignment, they would partake in the Overland Campaign, from the Rapidan to the James River. During their time on the campaign, they would partake in the Battle of the Wilderness, the Battle of Spotsylvania Courthouse, the Battle of North Anna River, the Battle of Totopotomoy Creek, and the infamous Battle of Cold Harbor. On June 16th, Dow's battery joined the siege of Petersburg, which consisted of action at Jerusalem Plank Road, 1st Deep Bottom, 2nd Deep Bottom, and they were assigned to the reserve during the Battle of the Crater. After the siege, they were assigned to Fort Davis till October 20th. After Fort Davis, they would be assigned to Fort McGilvery till March 15th, 1865. Battery F's next assignment would be to Fort Sampson until April 3rd, during which they would join the third and final Battle of Petersburg. After the battle, Dow's battery was moved to the reserve artillery at City Point and remained there until May 3rd. After City Point, they would be assigned to Alexandria, Virginia until June 4th, and 3 days later, on June 7th, 1865, Battery F would be mustered out of service. All in all, Dow's battery had been in service for 1,253 days, had fought in 17 engagements, and suffered 40 men killed during service, 13 killed or mortally wounded in combat, and 27 died of disease. Anyways, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comments below. And with that, this is the Copperhead Historian, signing off.